Hi, my name's Greg from TP Photography. Been a while since I've made a video, but I thought I'd make a video about some new flashes I got. Godox have been quite busy recently, so we've got a new what I call like a ideal size flash. It's Godox V480 and it's a little bit bigger than the V350, which was what I was using before, but not as big as the V1S or the V100 or the V860s. So it's a nice, reasonable, what I call in-between size. Put that over there, so you can see. So it's a good size. It's got a little bit of a different battery now. So it's got a battery in here, still lithium ion, which is one of the reasons why I love the Godox stuff. Is that they've got lithium ion batteries and they just last so long. So now you don't even have to worry about a separate charger. It's actually got a USB-C cable connection on it. So you just charge the battery directly. So that's very convenient when it comes to, you know, basically if you're out, you need to charge the battery. You just charge the battery. You don't need to go, oh, I forgot my charger. Guide number wise, it's more powerful than the V350, not quite as powerful as the V860s, V1Ss, but it's enough power that you don't wish you brought the bigger flash, but more power than the smaller one. So it's actually kind of ideal, I think. So I got that one, and then they announced all these mini ones, and it seems mini flashes are quite popular at the moment. So I bought a few different ones here. They seem to have absolutely brought out loads of this sort of thing at the moment, must be in fashion. There's a fully manual one. It's of an IM22. Sits a little bit above the hot shoe, so you get a little bit of distance between the hot shoe and the flash. This is fully manual, very light. It's less than 40 grams, I think. So you can basically just put this in your bag. Works with any camera, fully manual, so it doesn't require a TTL connection. Won't do TTL, in fact, but super handy if you just want a flash where you think, oh, I'm going somewhere. Might use a flash, but I don't want to take something this size, certainly. So ideal for travel. And if you know what you're doing with flash, you can just use full manual and will work with whatever cameras you've got, which is good. Comes with a little pouch, nice little box. And then just after I bought the IT30pro, which is a dedicated fit. Now this is, again, super handy. I'm thinking dance floors and things like that, where you just want a bit of fill flash, but this is actually a full wireless commander, so you can control your remote triggers, your remote flasher. So, you know, if you're doing off-camera flash, you don't want a big flash on your camera, but you want a bit of fill, but you still want to be able to control those remote camera flashes and have some fill flash option. Then this is the ideal one. Again, used to use the V350 for that because I could have a bit of on-camera fill, but also control the ones. Some people like this, some people don't. Some people don't like it because it's got a touch screen. All these new ones have touchscreen interfaces, which I quite like, but other people might not like. So that's your choice. But I quite like the fact that it's so tiny. Unlike this one where it's got a battery you take out and charge, all these ones are just USB-C charge. So you charge them up, you know, they last quite a while. You know, you're not going to be using them as your big powerful flash. That's where these other ones come in. But where you just want fill flash, remote controls, then this is so much lighter than having even a V350 on camera. Downside is obviously the flash is super close. They are going to produce a riser, which I believe you can get, not in the UK yet though, where it just raises it up a little bit and you can tilt and stuff, so you get that bounce if that's an option to you. But to some extent that defeats the point of these flashes, but it's there if you want. So this one, the IT30pro, that's great if you want a smaller footprint on possible on camera with some flash and to control your groups. So it doesn't alleviate the need for the other flashes completely, but if you're just thinking, oh, I might want to fire some flash on camera and control my off-camera flashes, then this is a great option. And lastly, IT20. This is a dedicated flash, so this is Sony hot shoe. Again, you can see compared to this one, they do a IT22, I believe, which is similar form factor to this, but with this difference here being that you've got TTL control. You've got no control over wireless groups, but again, you know, if you're going on holiday and you just want a simple flash, it's going to add a bit of fill. Or what I do now is I just put this on top of the camera hot shoe, thinking, not planning on using flash. Don't want to have a flash on my camera all day because that's just heavy for the occasional time I need it. But this will give me a bit of fill, so if I'm doing some details or something, it's a great option for that. Again, same caveat as applies to the others, where because you're so close to the lens axis, you can get shading if you're photographing something close. But if you're doing something a little bit wider, not so much of a problem. So, you know, if you're doing some details and you just want a bit of fill, then save going and getting a big flash, which is just going to be overkill anyway. Ideal little powerful thing. Again, USB-C charging. Strangely, this one actually comes with little magnetic diffusers and gels. I don't know if they're planning on selling a pack with creative gels. Obviously, you can fit them on yourself. But I just thought I'd make a quick video because it's been a while since they've released any new flashes that I would see as useful for something I'd want. The V100, just a bit too big for what I'm going to use for. Certainly on camera, when you've got the AD100s and things like that, that's sort of a much better footprint when I'm doing off-camera flash. V480, ideal because it packs enough punch that you're not thinking I want to bring a bigger flash, where you sometimes find that with the V350 is that great flash, great for fill, but sometimes it's just lacking that little bit of power, especially if you're doing something like fill flash at signings or just a fill flash. It's normally okay on the dance floor, but again, this has a little LED as well, so you have the advantage of you can have a bit of a video light as well without having to go and swap things out. IT30, another great option if you're just wanting a bit of fill and wireless control. So I'm thinking dance floor. IT20, if you don't care about the off-camera flash options, but you just want a bit of fill on camera, you don't want to worry about manual control. IM22, again, they do an IM20, which is more similar to this form factor, but I thought I'd get this because, again, you know, if you're just out on a day trip or just using it for fun, then, you know, gives enough power, you know, not too much hassle to control the power up and down if you know what you're doing, and great option, great choices. All come in carrying pouches, so I just throw them in. At the moment I'm putting this one in my bag. This one if I'm thinking I'm going to be doing off-camera flash. But to be honest, they're all so small you can throw all three of these in if you wanted, and it's still smaller than the bigger one. So that was it. I just wanted to go through some of the new flashes because I've done videos on a lot of the Godox kit before, and it's been a while, and I know people might be thinking, oh, I've seen lots of videos from influencers and things where they get sent the flashes, so you know you can sometimes have to take those with a bit of a pinch of salt, but these are ones I bought myself, so hopefully that's helpful for you, and thanks for watching, and speak to you soon. Bye bye.